Hello, hola, and bonjour, my beautiful animation fans. So this is going to be kind of an unscripted video. Yeah, it's kind of a story time, and it's a little bit of a clickbait, but not too much actually. So I know that everybody, makes these videos. Oh, my art teacher hated me. My art teacher hated me. Well, I feel like my animation teacher really did. Maybe not hate, but I don't think she liked me at all. So I'm gonna give a little backstory first. I'm graduating in like 4 days, but I go to a community college in my area, and I go to a community college in my area, and I study there. I study animation, and I also am getting a associate's in early childhood education. So I've been at the school for 3 years, even though it's only associates. I've been going for 3 years. Um, I've taken so many of her classes. This teacher, she's a good teacher. She is. She's very talented. It's not like she doesn't know what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. She's very talented. She's very motivated. She always teaches between 7 or 9 classes because this is her full-time job. It's how she makes money year round. So any semester she could have 9 or 10 classes, or 7 to 9 classes. Um, so the first class I took with her was her character design class, and I loved it. It was great. But I really don't think she liked me because, well, my if you've ever noticed through my channel, my art style is not the best. I used to not really have very much. I don't know. I've never been the best artist, but I'm not letting that get in the way of stuff, and I used to. I used to be like, oh, I can't draw very well, so I'm not going to do anything. No, I've been practicing, and I'm getting better, as I go on. So, so I was never the best artist, and I was literally the worst artist in the entire class. I'm not trying to, fish for compliments, but I was. And everybody else was many leagues higher than me. But that wasn't the reason. I don't know. I don't think that was the reason she didn't like me. But when I first got there, um, into her classes, I think she didn't really understand me all that well because, I'm kind of annoying. I have ADHD. I have problems reading social cues, so I really can't tell when I'm getting too much for some people. And some people can't stand me because I tend to talk excessively and I tend to talk out of turn because of how my high school was. I mean, it's a bad habit I have, but I kind of just have conversations with the professor instead of, raising my hand and waiting for them to call on me. I wait until they stop talking and then I ask my question, and I don't know, I don't think she liked that, so I tried to curb that. I tried to curb that. It's just something that I learned from my high school because we never really raised our hands. We just waited until the professor stopped talking, and then if somebody else talked while we were talking, we would just wait for the other person to ask their question, then we would ask. It's like a regular conversation. We were treated more like adults in the high school, which was kind of nice. But anyway, so I think she thought that I was being purposefully rude. I don't know. And I also think that she might have thought that I was lazy because she just never seemed very impressed with any of my work, even though, like, I was consistently showing up with work that had a consistent standard to it. So it wasn't like I was, trying to, it wasn't like I was trying to do bad so I could, get a good grade or, what was it? I don't even know what she would think. But, so, I've taken many of her classes. She's not the kind of teacher that offers a whole lot of support. Um, I always feel like she's kind of fake. So she's in her 30s, she's nice-ish. I don't know. She's very intimidating. And, when you first meet her, she just seems very intimidating, and she still is intimidating to me because she just always seems a little bit pissed off, she always just seemed a little bit mad, and I have anxieties towards that, so I think I was more perceptive to that, and I think that's what made me so worried about how she reacted to me and stuff because of how anxious I get when I can't tell people are mad at me. So why do I think she was why do I think she didn't like me? Well, there was just several times where I would ask her a question. For example, most recently in my animation class, my last semester. I asked her a question and I hadn't even finished my full question, and she turns, literally, she was physically standing like and looking at me in the eye, and then she turns and starts talking to another student. And the student didn't even like have his hand raised or anything. He didn't need help or anything. She just started a conversation casually with another student. This has happened so many times. She's literally cut me off before, and like turned and I don't know. I've had her for so many classes because she's the only person who actually teaches animation. And she is one of those art teachers who's very like fine art-y, like the only good art is fine art and everything else is stupid. I mean, I wasn't drawing anime or anything like that, but she thinks, I don't know, it's like she didn't like the stuff that I was interested in, which is fine because, I need to learn different styles. But I just don't think she really liked having me in her class. She never failed me, which is nice, but I just always got this energy from her that she just didn't like me. This one time, I was in one of her classes, and I was talking about how I could have my cat in my dorm because I have an emotional support animal for anxiety and PTSD. And so my teacher, she comes over, and I asked if when she was an RA, if she ever had a person on her floors with an emotional support animal, because she was an RA for a different school when she got her master's in animation. And she's like, no, people didn't need those back then. I'm like, oh, okay. See, now that I'm saying stuff out loud, it all just seems very small and petty, but I don't know, maybe I'm just too perceptive, and maybe I'm just overthinking everything, and I might be. I don't know. I do appreciate all the classes I took from her, and I know that she is highly educated and she knows what she's talking about, and I've learned so much from her, but I just wish that she treated me better, I guess. She clearly had favorites in the classes, and I was never one of them, and I guess that's why I don't like that, is because I wanted to be one of the favorites. I've always been a teacher's pet. One thing also that bothered me one of these just like things is, so I'm not going to be able to get my certificate in animation because there were only 3 people that signed up for the Animation 2 class because the prerequisites were Sound Design and Animation 1, and I'd taken both, and that was the last class I needed. I was so excited. But then the class was canceled because it needed at least 6 people. The teacher did not cancel it. She had no control over that. But I was so excited to show her that I wanted to show her, hey, I'm still animating, and she inspired me, and I wanted to be just like her. And so I brought my tablet to school, and I showed her this little stupid walk cycle of an alpaca, and I had worked so hard on it. I had spent hours making it, and she just looks at it with an unimpressed look on her face, and she goes, the legs are wrong. And that's all she said. And so I just, I start rambling, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I probably should have used more of a reference. And she's like, yeah, you should have. Even though I literally did use a reference. But I didn't. I wanted her to I don't know, I wanted her approval. That's the whole thing. I've been pining for her approval for so long. I don't know why. The more that she just like seems to not enjoy my work, the more I seem to want to show her that I can do stuff that is good. That I can do things that are well, you know? I don't know. If you guys want, I'll make a whole different story time about my experience in my animation classes. If you guys are actually interested in that. But I can't think of anything else to talk about. I might make a second video of this when I can get my thoughts together. But yeah, I appreciate her. She's smart. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than her and that's why she didn't like me. I think she didn't like me because I'm annoying. I'm an annoying person sometimes, and I can be a lot for people who do not know how to deal or handle people with ADHD who talk excessively, like I do. Who have to verbally think sometimes, which is what I do. Like, I'll have to verbally, I don't know, work through stuff. It's just how my brain works. Yeah. So that's it for now. Let me know if you guys like this video. Let me know. Oh, by the way, I probably should have said this in the beginning, but what I'm working on in the background is for the AMV by AMV. The map of my map part for The Worst in Me by Silhouette. And right now I'm just trying to do Scourge, and I'm just trying to get him to do a jumping and extending his arm. But that's it. I should have said that in the beginning. I'm sorry. Alright, that's it for now. Thank you and goodbye.